Yeah, thanks everyone for joining the session. So let me introduce myself. This is Satish. I'm sales manager with Newt Global for DevOps practice. So today's topic for the webinar, SVN to Git migration. And before we start about get into the topic, let me give a brief about Newt Global. So Newt Global is founded in 2004, headquartered in Dallas, Texas, present in multiple locations in the USA and India. And we are the leader in DevOps transformation, cloud enablement, and test automation services, and have been serving some of the Fortune 50 companies. So here are our speakers for today's session. Sanjay Lakhanpal, Managing Director, Newt Global. Sanjay is a technical leader. His area of expertise includes DevOps, digital transformation, DevOps and test automation, sales and delivery, and relationship management. He has over 20 plus years of experience in IT industry and delivered multiple enterprise scale projects for Fortune 500 companies. And we have Syed Zaigam Abbas, lead DevOps engineer at Newt Global. Syed was driving enterprise SCM tool migrations at Newt Global. He has hands-on experience in migrating SVN and Acura to Git. So over to you, Sanjay.
Thanks, Satish. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the audience in the call. My name is Sanjay Lakhanpal, and Satish just gave me a brief introduction about myself. I just want to talk a bit about Newt Global and what we do. So we are one of the leading DevOps cloud transformation companies in the world today, where we have made a significant investments in building the practice internally. And we work with some of the largest implementations in DevOps in the world. More than the tool set that, obviously Syed is going to be talking about, for many of you who have heard about DevOps earlier, you know that it is not only just that implementation of the tool, although the tool is important, but it is the culture of implementing DevOps, and how do you try to get into a situation where you have seamless CI/CD and be able to take away the boundaries which have typically existed between the delivery teams, the testing teams, and the infrastructure teams. We as a company have worked in these transformation models across the globe in terms of helping companies build up the culture, helping the strategy in terms of defining what a company needs to do if they want to go in the DevOps area, as well as helping them in the implementation of proof of concepts. And going further after that, it is in terms of the heavy lifting of how do you migrate your current IT stack, development stack, to the mandated or prescribed DevOps tool set of an enterprise, and help you in accelerating the DevOps initiatives in the company. So reach out to us and enjoy the seminar. In case you feel there are any questions, reach out to Satish or anybody in the company. We look forward to hearing it. And we're very excited to share this experience of ours, where we have implemented this particular the tool in one of the largest airlines in the world. And Syed has been a very critical player in the implementation. So I would hand it over to Syed now, because he's the champion, he's a guru, and I hope it is a good session for all of you guys as well. Satish, with that, I'd like to hand it over to Syed.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. This is Syed Zaigam Abbas. I will be taking care of the GitHub, walking you through the migration steps which we did with the organization. It's one of the biggest airlines. So before starting of this meeting, I would just like to give some housekeeping instructions. So it will be easier for all of us to understand if all the phones are set to mute. So we have already received several questions from the registrant, and which will be answered by us during the Q&A session. And also you can ask us the questions in middle of the session. You can write, and we will receive the questions in the chat, and we will answer those during the course of the training. So let's start with today's agenda for the meeting. What we will cover in the meeting will be the introduction of the Git. Then I will walk you through the various Git features which are there which we faced and which we found are much more suitable in current generation of DevOps toolchain. Then we will walk you through the benefits of Git over SVN, because everyone is using different repositories. There are SVN, people are using Git. Then why do we want to change into something which we are not using? We are using SVN for past 10 years or 11 years, and suddenly this Git comes and we all want to change on it. So we will go through the benefits. Then I will show you the steps and how we did the migration from SVN to Git in our current customers which we are handling. And there is one important topic note in that particular migration I would like to explain to all of you is this particular migration process. It's not hard and fast, like this is only the migration process. There are n number of migration process available in the market right now. The current migration tool which I will be explaining is one of the easier migration tools which we found out after looking after the various migration processes. So it's not just this is the only thing. There are we can go with another migration steps are also there. Then we will walk you through a sample demo, and I will just give you a simple migration steps, how we did the SVN migration, and show you how to use the Git for your DevOps toolchain. So let's get started. So Git features. In the Git feature, we will cover the repositories, the URL of the Git, how the Git manages its repository, the branches. One of the most important concept in any of the repositories, not just Git, is the branches, how the Git is having its branches structure, the commits, how we do the commit in the Git. The various small commands are there which we use via command line. There is one Git feature, colors. We'll walk you through that. And to visualize the Git repository, how you will visualize on your desktop GUI, we will walk you through that Git feature. So the first Git feature is the Git repositories. So the repository is a place in which you keep your code. The code will be residing in your Git repository. So since Git is a distributed source control management, so each of the repository will be carrying their own copy, and those will be residing in the Git server. So the developers, when they will clone the repository into their local, so their local will also become one of the Git repo. So your code will reside in the remote repository. When you will clone, it will come to your local, and whatever changes, whatever modifications you will do on the particular file will be done under locally. And then after testing and verification, and when you found the code is perfect, then you will push or you will check in your code back to the remote server. Now what happens in SVN is a centralized version control. So all of its code reside in a single repository at some detached central place, so where all the history is there. So whenever you will be working on any repository, you will be working directly on your central repo. This is one of the major reason why Git is gaining popularity, because it will give you the option of working on local without affecting your remote server. The next feature is the URL. So in Subversion, there is one URL in which is the location of the repository, and in that particular URL, it will have trunk, branches, and tags. So you can check out your code with respect to whatever directory is you want to check out. So if you want to check out branch, if you want to check out trunk, each will have their individual URL. In Git, the URL is the location of the repository. It will contain all the branches, the tags. So whatever dependent folders are there, we keep it into one place, and the URL will be pointing to that particular location. The next and the very big feature which make the Git differentiate from other repositories are how the Git structure the branches into GitHub. So in SVN, branches are just the additional folders. They are nothing. They have the copy of the code base into their repository, and will have nothing else. So you have trunk, you will create a branch which will have just the copy of the code. Whereas in the GitHub, the branches have their own history, they have their own revision. So it will have an explicit information when it was forked, what commit done, when it is merged, everything, all the details will be there. So the branch will act as a repository in itself. And so what it will do is that, so when you will merge your branch back to your master as in Subversion, you have to delete that branch so that in the future some error will not occur during the merge. But in the Git, you can keep your branches as it is where it is residing, so that when you will come back, and so in course of a time, 6 months, 1 year, if you are coming back, you can see, oh, if I want to check which branch I made, what changes, I can go back to that and we can check it. But in SVN, since we have to delete the branches, we don't have that option. This is one of the very great feature of the Git, which it differentiates from the other source control management. So in the Git, how we commit is, whenever we are committing any code into our local or into any remote server, we have couple of fields. One is the author and one is the committer field. So in the committer field, we give some specific message which will define what kind of changes we have made into our code, so that if some other person is verifying your code, by looking into the commit message, he can get an idea what changes you might have made into the file. And in the author, he will be able to see who has made the changes. So it will give you an idea to keep a track of what are the changes and who are making the changes. The basic Git commands are there in the GitHub website. When you will install the Git, you will get the Git commands. So to git push, to git clone. So the basic idea of using Git commands is you write Git and you write that specific command and the function that will be done with that command. So you can use it into your command line also. Oh wow, the colors, the Git features. It's like whenever you are making any changes into your local repository, if you want to see the changes which you have made, you will see the log files or you see the commit history. You have to go line by line into check, okay, what was the changes that have been made. Git has one of the feature called colors. This is disabled by default, but you can enable it. What it will do is it will have some specific colors for specific fields or specific things done on your Git server. So just by looking into the color, you can verify, okay, this thing was done onto my file. So you don't have to read and go line by line. It will just you can see it in one go. Visualization is the GUI, how you can, so you have the GitHub server, from there you will clone your GitHub repository to your local. So then comes the question, how do I visualize into my local? How can I see it? So there are n number of tools, there are n number of third-party tools which provide the GUI for the platform specific experience. what Git provide is a GitHub desktop. So once you will install it, GitHub desktop, you can see all of your repositories on their own. We can make the changes via GitHub desktop. What most of the developers prefer is the ID, use of the ID. So in our projects also, whatever customers which we help in the migration, most of them were using Eclipse. And so the Git provides, and there is a plugin for Git which is already there into the Eclipse. So if you are going into the latest version of the Eclipse, this is already been incorporated into the Eclipse itself. Or if it's not, you can go to the Eclipse website, you can get the plugin, and you can use your GitHub repository directly from the Eclipse. So these were some of the basic features of the Git. I think if you have any questions with the Git features, you can just let me know. So here is a question. So is there a recommended size of SVN repository that can be moved into Git repository? A max size for Git repo. Actually, yes, there is a size. But not the GitHub repository. You can migrate a large number of code base, but if your file size is more than 100 MB, GitHub will not allow you to move that particular file. So if there are some jar files, those are say binaries which have more than 100 MB. So GitHub says like, no, you should not move it to this to the code base, because the repository is just to keeping your code. For that purpose, yes, there are other options. There are many third-party tools such as Nexus repository or JFrog repository. Git also provide one of its features called Git LFS. So rather than migrating the complete file, you just migrate a pointer to that particular file, so that your Git will be able to point to that particular binary. But what we prefer is to have a we are providing a Nexus repository where we keep all our binaries, and we make changes in our pom.xml or build.xml and point to that particular binary to use in our project. Okay. So these were the so next move on to other questions we will take in the QA session. The next are the benefits of the Git over SVN. So SVN, you have a good user interface. In Git, you also have a better user interface. There are many third-party tools that provide a Git, because everyone knows this is the boiling point of repository which we are using right now. In SVN, you have only a single repository. So one URL is there which will have all the folders, everything will be there in that particular one URL. In Git, what Git is there is just, since it proposes to have differentiate into the local and the remote server. It says to have different repositories, so that in whichever a single repository, if I have dependency on each of the project, those should be in a single repository, the other should be in the other repository. So Git support multiple repository. Git is a distributed nature. Git provides a better branch handling, as you saw in the previous slides. The performance is much better because whenever we are working with the SVN, we are directly communicating with the server. So say if any issue is happening over the internet, your network is down, if you want to see any history, you have to connect to your server every time. But when it comes to Git, everything is in your local. You don't have to worry about the server, what is happening there. You don't have to worry about that. You just go into your local, see everything, whatever you want in just a second of time. Space requirements are there. So say like I told you, there is a file size which can be moved into the GitHub, 100 MB, but yes, that can be managed also. Okay, so this is how we import the SVN repo into the Git. So I will just walk you through what we did in the migration process to the Git server. Yes, and again, I would just like to let you know, like, there are some other methods also which can be used in migrating your SVN code into Git. What we are displaying is what we found is most suitable and was much more nearer to our client need. So before migrating to SVN repo into the Git, the prerequisites would be to get the read-only access of the SVN repository, which you are going to migrate into the GitHub. You need the Git SVN. This is the Git SVN utility which we are using for the migration. So we install it into a local environment. We download one script, SVN migration script, and keep it into a local. With the local, I would just like to let you know, the local I mean is we have set up a virtual machine which have some of our space, so where we keep all of the code which we migrate from the client SVN repository. We do not keep it in our local system. The reason is we are a large team. So if every person is working with one or the two other teams, if each of the people will be having their own team's repository in their particular desktop, no one will be able to see what is happening with the other team members. So we have one specific VA virtual machines, dedicated virtual machine, where we install all these softwares. We get the read-only access for the SVN, and we migrate all the code from the SVN repository to that particular virtual machine. From there, we connect to our remote server. So after all the prerequisites are installed or downloaded, we set up a remote GitHub server. So when we will be migrating, we will be check out the code SVN into a local. When we will push into the remote GitHub, we will need some placeholder in the remote GitHub to keep our code there. So for that, we go into the remote GitHub server, we create the organization name, we create team name and members from respective teams. So we are working with n number of clients, and everyone have their own teams. So we create their team members, we set up their organization, they set up their team and assign their team members. Then we create the repository that will act as a placeholder, and then we push the code from the lab. So this is how we set up the starting of our SVN migration. So how we are importing our SVN repository into the Git, these are the steps we follow while migrating our SVN repository into the Git. So these might change as per the requirement of the customer or a client. So for example, if a client does not want its branches or tags, he just wants the trunk to be migrated into the GitHub, a little bit of steps will change. And one thing also is, like, in SVN, we have a structure as trunk, branches, and tags. GitHub also have branches and tags. The difference is, in SVN, the trunk is the release code, where we put our code ready to be released. In GitHub, the trunk equivalent is a master branch. So whatever code we migrate into the trunk goes into the master branch of GitHub, and the branches and the tags will go as they are in the in the SVN. So these all the steps we will go through when we will walk you through in the demo. Okay. So before moving to the demo, we will go through and look at some of the questions. So the question is, I thought we are using GitLab for repository, GitHub is for open source. Correct me if my understanding is wrong. See, the GitHub is an open source, yes, but what we are using is GitHub Enterprise version. So in GitHub open source, when you are creating a repository, you are creating public repository. You cannot create private repositories. So what we give is, we are providing enterprise version of GitHub, so that you can also create private repositories, and which will make sure that you have much more control over your repositories. So what's your recommended client for managing Git repositories for .NET developers? It's same for most of the, irrespective of the developers, it's .NET or Java, it's same. You can use Eclipse, you can use any IDE, whatever you are using with SVN, you can use the same with the Git. So there is no difference in using the client. The next is, I am currently using Git, but some of my peers still use SVN. Then you know the benefits of the Git, and you can let him know, like, yes, now this is the time you want to switch to Git. So okay, so any limitations on Git push, like size? Yes, as I explained, like, yes, there is a size limit in the Git. 100 MB of a file size more than of 100 MB cannot be pushed. And if you see on the basis of current basis, none of the files are more than of 100 MB. The files are just the log files or the jar files which are more than that. So what Git prefers is you just have your code in the repository. All the other binaries you should keep in some other Nexus repository or JFrog repository, which are for binary repositories, so that you can point at. Once you are cloning the code into your local, you are cloning all of the code from the GitHub. So every time anyone makes any changes, the size of the GitHub repository will increase. So it will be very hard for anyone or everyone to again and again clone or check out the code of, say, 2 GB or 3 GB of the code into your system. In SVN, you are directly connecting with the remote server. You're not cloning the code into your local. So that's why Git has this size limitation, so that your repository should not go beyond the size. Okay. So we will go through the demo now. Okay. And before taking a demo, we will take a little break.
Some more questions.
Okay, so I will hand over to Satish.
So while Syed is setting up the demo, let me quickly run a small poll. It doesn't take more than 30 seconds of your time. So here we start. I request you to participate.
Can I stop my...
Thank you. So here I can close it. Let me go to the next question. Okay, so let us close this, and here we have the final question. Okay, so let's close this poll entirely. So again, thank you for your participation in the poll, and over to you, Syed.
Thank you, Satish, for that. Okay, so now we will go for the demo. Before starting the demo, I will just set up some task or some agenda what we are going to show in the demo currently. So as I explained, we are using there is an GitHub, which is an open source. What we are using is an enterprise version of GitHub, which is our client GitHub, and which we give for different clients to use. We will be showing the demo on the open source GitHub. Will not be displaying the demo in the enterprise GitHub because there are some restrictions on that. Going forward, the SVN repository which I will take is an open source, is an example SVN repository on the web. So it may or may not have the branches or tag structure which are there, which we have done into our demo or our Git migration with the client. But whatever task or whatever steps were there in the slides, that will only be followed to migrate the Git SVN code SVN code into the Git branches and tags. Okay, so we'll wait for some minutes. People are not been able to see the demo screen. We'll just wait for a minute or so. Sorry for that. So as I told, like this is an example Git or example SVN open source which is on your screen. So what we do is, if we'll go into the steps. So first of all, the first step is to download the jar file, which will help into the script jar file into the migration. This we keep into our lab machine. The next is the simple command of git svn. So this is, once you will install the git svn utility as explained in the previous slide, you will be able to use the git svn command directly to migrate your code from svn to git. So what git svn client will do, it will merge the functionalities of git and svn with each other. So you use git svn clone and you give the URL of svn. Even though that particular URL is not git, then also you will be able to clone that particular svn URL as a git repository into your local system. So this was the particular SVN server which I was able to take out. We will go through that. This is a GitHub server. This is a GitHub open source. I think most of the people might have seen GitHub open source. Anyone can go ahead and make their own repositories. They can play with this. But as I told, if you are going to create a new repository, we cannot create a private repository in the open source GitHub. So the private repositories, we are providing the enterprise version of the GitHub so that you will be able to create your own private repositories. So as a prerequisite, we will first of all go and create a placeholder where we will keep our demo repository, which we will clone right now. So we have created a remote repository. It is residing into your open source GitHub. Same way we can create in the enterprise GitHub also. Now, in order to clone your SVN repository, we copy the code. We go to the Git bash. This is another tool of GitHub. You can once you install Git into your local, you can directly use from your command line. But if you install this Git bash, it will give you the direct. It will be much more easier to perform the various Git operations. So let me make one directly. Say Git mkdir demo. I go to the demo folder. So I gave git svn clone. I'll paste this. So in this particular svn, we don't have branches and tags. So we just have a code which can be cloned into our which will be converted as a Git repository. So let me start it and I will explain it further. There was a question is how do we keep our branches and tags intact while we are doing the Git SVN migration. So what Git SVN utility will do is as soon as you will give Git SVN clone and give the URL, so you have your branches, you have your tags. There is one command in the PowerPoint presentation you see is std layout. So what it will do is std layout means standard layout. So the standard layout of SVN is trunk, tags and branches. So the Git SVN utility will clone the code, the trunk as in a master. It will have your branches as your SVN branches as your Git branches. It will convert your SVN tag as a Git tag. So you don't have to do CC. It's very simple. You don't have to do anything. You just write Git SVN clone, give the URL of the SVN, hit enter, and just wait. That waiting point is it's really trouble sometimes, because that is you are not doing anything. You're just seeing in your screen the cloning is doing, and there are various factors which will determine the speed. So one of the thing is the size of your SVN repository. If the SVN repository is of a higher size, it will take some time to clone it. The network connectivity. So if you are in a lab machine or if you're creating a virtual machine, if it's not in the same network as your SVN repository, it will take some other time than if they both are there in the same network. So n number of factors are there which will determine the length and the time of your Git SVN migration. So as in our current, it has started and it will take some time. So just to keep the time limit in check, what I have done is I have already cloned this particular repository into my local. So just show this. So this particular docs, it will create in the SVN, if I go, the docs folder, it will just clone your SVN repository as a Git repository into your local, and it will give you all the files. So you see after the docs you have master written. This is the folder, this is the trunk code converted into your master repository. So all the codes and all the text files and everything will be here. If any branches are there or if any tags are there, those will also be converted into your Git branches, but those will not be displayed here. So what the Git SVN utility will do is it will convert it into a remote Git repository, Git branch and tags. So for that purpose, there is an next option is to bring the SVN branches and tags into local Git. You can either use this particular command git tag, and you can convert the tags into the tag and the git the remote branches into the local branches, or you can run the script, that SVN migration script. It will also convert those things into your local. And after converting, then if you will go and do git branch, you will be able to see all the branches that were there in the SVN as the branches in the git. And then if you will push it, those codes will be pushed to your remote Git repository. Since this particular SVN does not have the the branches and tags, we will not be able to display here, but it will follow the same procedure. So now I have already cloned the code into my local system. So this is residing into my local. So any changes, anything I will do, it will not be affected to my remote server. And this, even I have not pushed it into my remote server. So let us go ahead and push it into my remote server. So in the remote, I have created the demo name of a repository as a demo. You just copy the code. You go to your command line, paste it. It will add a remote add origin. So remote add origin, it will add the GitHub repository, and then you can push your code to your remote server. So as you will push your code, since my credentials are there, so it will ask you for entering it. Let me write it, just give me a minute. So you write your username, you give your password of your GitHub. It will push your code into the GitHub with your branches, with your tags, as your branches were there in the SVN, the same as the branches in the tag. So if you will go into your GitHub, if you refresh it, okay, it's still transferring the. So see, everything will be dependent upon the speed will be dependent upon the various factors, your internet connectivity, your size of the repository. And this is a public GitHub. You cannot create a private repository. So if you want to create a private repository, you have no other option than to go for the enterprise version of Git. And we are very used to in providing the Git enterprise. Whichever client and whichever customers we are working with, everyone wants to go with the enterprise version because that's much more safer. So now our code is still, it's pushing goes slow. Sorry for that. Okay. So while it is going on, let me go through some of the other questions. So will you be providing these steps after the webinar? Yes, the webinar the recording will be shared with you all after the meeting, which will have the presentation also. So you can go through that. So to create a private Git repository, which software recommend to use? Okay, so as I already told, you have no other option than to go for the enterprise version of the Git to create the private Git repositories. Is this being recorded and will be shared? Yes, it will be. So during migration to Git, how to keep branches and tags intact? So as I already explained, like when you will use this SVN utility, it will take care of all those things, which the option is STD layout, so standard layout of the SVN, it will convert in the same manner. So the Git SVN utility and Git bash are integrated after installing Git SVN utility. Yes, it is. So once you will install the Git SVN utility, so what the Git SVN utility means is, once you will install the Git into your local, if you just install Git, it will just be installed as a Git version rather than installing just a Git. there is an option of Git SVN software which Git provides. Okay, I can show you that also. So if you go into the Git website, you go and say I want to download the Git SVN. In the Git only, you will get the Git SVN, the Git clients, and the other clients of the Git. You can get from the Git website itself, so you can download it from there. Okay, so the next question is, how do I merge conflicts, and how, if you will show the merge. So see, what we do is, in this particular demo, we will just walk you through how we did in the Git migration and what steps we follow. The merge and how we do a merge in the Git, that is done after we migrate the code. So what we do is, after migrating the code of the customers and the clients, we give them the GitHub training. So in that we cover everything from how we commit a code, how to make a branches, how to commit a code into the branches, how to create a pull request, pull, merge conflicts. That might not be covered in this particular training, but yes, you can reach us anytime if you want a training on such. So in a contact us section, you can contact us, and we can let you know the forward process after this. So let me check my, okay, great. So this has been pushed. Let's go to the my Git repository. Let's see. Oh wow, great. So you can see the Git, the code has been pushed into my Git repository. So here the branch is master. If there would be some other branches, those branches will also be displayed here. The tags will be displayed here. Whatever the tags were there in the SVN, using the standard layout option, and then converting the tags into the converting the remote SVN tags into the local. When you will push it, those will also come into your Git repository. And this is the open source. So go into the enterprise version, you will be able to create your private, and you will be, the same method is the same in public and even in the private. We are having, okay, next question is, we are having trouble converting empty directories from SVN to Git. Do you have a solution for this? Yes, see, for that, what happens is, when you migrate the code into the SVN to Git, it will not convert the empty directories. What we do is that we go and create a sample text file, say text, just a sample text, and then we migrate the code. So then the Git will take it. So this is a little process of fooling Git, because it will not allow you to migrate the empty folders into itself. So you can create a sample text or something, and then you can merge it, and after that you can delete that particular sample text. Is there a unique value, key value, hash value that is associated with each Git check-in? Is the unique value a numerical value or alphanumeric value? Yes, there is a unique value which is associated with each of the Git commits. So if you see on my screen, if I go and click on the Git, the commits option is there. See, this is the ID. So you can see each of the commit will have their individual specific IDs. So if I click on this particular specific ID, I can go ahead and see what changes were made into this particular file, who made it, and when the changes were made. And this is just into your GitHub browser. The same history you can see into your local also, when you will integrate it with any third-party tool or with an Eclipse ID. So you do not need to come back again and again to your server to see that. You can see it into your local system also. I hope that answers the question. Git reflog works right. Git the reflog, Git, there's one is Git workflow. Yes, there is Git workflow that works. I'm not sure about the reflog. I've not heard about it. So yeah, I will get you with that. For this conversion, for this conversion, there is a limit on the amount of revisions in SVN. Some other third-party tools limit your revision count when converting from SVN to Git. No, with this particular utility, you do not have any limit of the amount of revisions which we have in SVN. Whatever URL you want to give, how much size of a SVN is it, that will be able to convert. But then you have to keep in mind, Git does not allow you to push a file which is more than 100 MB. So I must say like this, there is a file which should not be more than 100 MB of a size. Can you please show a merge Git example demo? So as I explained, in this particular training, we will not be covering the merge and the specific Git operations, because if you want these trainings to be done, you can always contact us in the contact us button at the bottom, and then we will give you a complete training on the GitHub. This particular training is just to show how we did the Git migration from SVN to GitHub. So when it comes to understanding the merge, doing the merge conflicts, creating branches, committing the code, all those will come under the GitHub training. That if you want, you can just let us know. We can arrange for that also. Any other tools that you are familiar with that can be used to migrate from SVN to Git? Yes, there is another tool called SVN to Git. There are other tools which directly migrate the code from SVN to Git, but what we found is this Git SVN was much more easier, and it gives the power in our hand to migrate the code. So if you want to migrate some specific folders or specific files, rather than migrating everything, so we have the control in our hand. There are a number of tools. As I say, there is one SVN to Git, the to a numerical Git, yeah. I didn't follow Git SVN installation. Can you show it again? Okay, so the Git installations, as I explained, the Git installation can be covered in the GitHub training. But yeah, you can always. Okay, so let me walk you through about the Git installation. Is you go to the Git website. And you can download the software from there. Go to the downloads option. Here the downloads are there. So your whatever the operating system is there, it's Mac or Windows or Linux or Solaris, irrespective of your operating system, you can get your and then you can install it into your local system. Okay, next is how good does the history migrate? What is the difference from starting an empty Git and just dump the latest code there? That's a really good question. So when it comes to the history, so that's what this utility is. I found is much better, because when we use other utilities, it was not able to migrate the code. Migrate the history. It was just migrating. It was just copying the code from SVN and pushing it to the remote repository. It was not migrating the history. But when it comes to this particular this particular tool, it will migrate all of the history from start day one till now. So since it's a Git SVN utility, so it will combine the Git functionality also. Okay. So this Git SVN utility will cover all of your history. You don't have to worry about your history, how much history it will cover. It will cover your start from the starting till end. Okay, so I hope that answers the question. What happens to the user? How does it handle it? So as shown in the slide itself, sorry for that. So the first part is, as you can see in the screen, create the users list from the SVN. So this will create your user list and will create an authors txt. Then when you will be cloning your SVN to your local repository, it will create your authors and into an author file. But what we did in the different clients, since we were the enterprise, we were having the enterprise version, so we created, they wanted specific authors to they wanted to change the structure. So we created the organization and and added the authors manually. But you can do it as is shown in the PPT. You can use it authors txt file. So that's all from my end, and I hope you all found this training helpful. And so for any questions or any clarifications, you can contact us. This is all over from me. I will just now transfer to Satish, and I was really happy to answer all your questions. So in any queries, you can contact us. Over to you, Satish.
Thanks everyone for joining the session. It was really a pleasure organizing this session. We have a lot of active participation that we received from all the participants. We are still receiving lots of questions from the participants, but we will try to answer those questions or an email. If you have, in the meantime, if you have any questions or clarifications, you can reply to the email address which I am currently showing in my screen. So you will be receiving the video recording of the session as well as the slide deck, along with the answers that you might have requested which we did not answer. So hope to work with you in the future. Thank you so much. With this, we'll close the webinar. Thank you.